Hello, I am back with a voice training stream. So, I have continued to work on voice training, but one of the things that I am not doing the best on is it's just so easy to switch into your old voice purely out of habit. Um, so I asked my speech pathologist for some recommendations, and he gave me this really cool resource that other people may also like. It is, as you can see here, uh, we've got this website here, and for free, this person has released this little PDF, Practice Games for Endurance. So the deal with these games is you're essentially trying to use your voice with your voice training techniques, and you're trying to do them in a way that, like, you have to think harder while still keeping that voice up. So I wanted to try a few of these and see how that worked. Uh, the trick is you do your stuff. So, for voice masculinization, I'll briefly go over the techniques, but I've covered them more in depth in previous videos. There are, of course, like the 5 factors of your voice, and especially how it gets gendered. There's your pitch, your resonance, which some people also call your voice size. Um, there is, it can also be how bright or dark your voice is. Then there is the weight. So vocal weight is like the difference between very breathy and very honky. And then there's, like, think, like rap versus like in maybe something that's just very loose, I guess. And then you have, let's see how many, prosody. Prosody is like the catch-all term for all of the very complex things we do with our voice, like any accents or little patterns in our voice, like raising the pitch at the end of a sentence, um, or if you just have a very flat tone. Um, yeah. And then, of course, volume. So, going over these, pitch, it can be trained to a degree by practicing and getting your muscles, but it's going to be a long-term thing. And actually, you can have a very high pitch as a man and still get read as a man, or a very low pitch as a woman and still get read as a woman. And the reason for that is resonance. Resonance being the, resonance being the, yeah, okay. Yeah, so resonance being the, so like in a bottle, if you've ever blown across a bottle and it makes a noise, if you do it on a small bottle or a bottle that's filled mostly with water, you'll get something that sounds more higher pitched, whereas if you have a larger bottle, it's going to sound lower pitched. This is also like if you blow up a balloon and then you just let it release on its own, versus if you blow up a balloon and then you pinch the end and then let the air release. So resonance can give the illusion of pitch, and my understanding on that is mostly because the shape of the container in which your voice is vibrating and echoing in, um, it can make, so anytime you sing or speak, a single tone that you make is actually multiple different notes. Um, but the one that we mostly hear is the primary note or like the foundation. In Formants, we call it the F0. So that's just the one that's the loudest. It's usually the lowest note. And there's also other sounds that are happening at the same time, but they kind of all blend together to create your own unique voice. So with resonance, my understanding is that the size and shape of the container, which when you're speaking, that's going to be your vocal tract, and that's the empty space in your throat, your mouth, and your nasal passage. And based on the size and shape of that, basically some sound waves are going to be more prominent than others. Like some are going to get amplified, and the one that gets amplified is not necessarily going to be the one that would be more noticeable without the container. Anyway, that's probably too complicated for this, but those are the things. And then basic, I always say resonance is the first thing that, and the most important thing in voice training. That's just my opinion. So for voice masculinization, one of the easiest ways to create an open resonance, which tends to get read as more masculine, is oification. So you go, oh, and then feel where the muscles are in your mouth and your throat. Oh, and you want to just keep them in that position while you talk, and your voice will come off as more masculinized. For people who want to feminize their voice, which I am better at due to my many years as a femboy adjacent person, you're going to do the opposite technique, which is eification. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a E sound, and then you're just going to keep your voice like this. And if you keep your tongue and the mouth in your mouth and your throat in the E position, then it's going to give you a more closed resonance, which is going to make your voice sound and get read as more feminine on the whole. And of course, there are other things that you need to do in addition to these, but these are just the basics. So those are the two kind of foundational resonance and kind of the easiest ones, I'd say, right? Because all you're doing is you're making a sound that you're already familiar with, you already know how to make, and then you just kind of try to keep your anatomy in that position as you do things that you wouldn't normally do in that position. So, anyway, there's a bunch of other techniques as well, but I'd say that those are good ones to start with. So the goal with these exercises is, like, for me, when I'm practicing my voice, like, hi, my name is Noanen, and I'm a constituent from Olympia. So that's like my, my business voice, or like, this is what I use when I do 5 calls in the mornings. And then I could also have like let's see, sometimes I get lost and don't know what to say. Let's see, let's try my twink, my nasal whiny twink. My bass line for that one is always this old. When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city. Word association games tend to be the easiest place to start because they rely on reacting to a prompt instead of coming up with one right answer. Alright, so that's like somewhat of a twink voice. So the thing is, I'll be doing one voice that I want to improve, but if I get too distracted or too excited by something, or if I'm around certain people, then I just slip back into my old ways, my old femboy voice very easily. So, let's see. The point of these little games is they provide a distraction for your brain, and so you can kind of train yourself to keep the new voice instead of backsliding under situations of strain or distraction. So this one is what we're going to do today, the animal alphabet. And again, this booklet is for free for anyone on reneeoxen.com/practice games ebook. And I'm sure if I went just to the proper website, then I could look under freebies probably, and they would probably have an ebook link in here, right? Let's see. Yep, right here. Practice games for endurance. And they also have other things that might be useful. This person is pretty legit, actually. Alright, so I am going to do this game for training. It is called Animal Alphabet. And here's how it is. In your target voice, name an animal for every letter of the alphabet. Pause between letters to reset your target voice if necessary. If you can't think of an animal, you can skip that letter. If you find yourself forgetting which letter comes next, write the alphabet down on a paper first. Alright, so A is for aardvark, B is for baboon, C is for cat, D is for dog, E is for elephant, F is for fox, G is for Great Dane, H is for horse, I is for iguana, J is for jaguar, J-J-K, K is for kangaroo, K is for kangaroo, L, H-I-J-K-L, llama, M is... My brain is going moo, but moo is not an animal. Mountain lion. N is for... Oh, let me think. N... My brain wants to search for a lizard for some reason. N is for... the North American wildcat. That's a little bit of a cheat, but we're just gonna go for that. N, I do think I slipped there. N, LMNO is for osprey. P is for panther. LMNOP. Q is... Oh no, I know that there probably is a Q animal. Qui-Gon is not an animal. Quincy is not an animal. Alright, we'll just skip Q. R is for a robot dog. R is for reptiles. R is for a specific animal that I need to know that begins with R is rubber rover. I feel like I'm literally just having like a severe brain fog. I feel like there's a bunch of animals that begin with R, and I don't know why none of them are coming to mind right now. Raptor, but that's more of like a type of... We'll just go with raptor. Okay. QRS. S is for salamander. QRST. T is for Tasmanian devil. RST. U is for... What kind of animal begins with a U? Hmm. V is for Vixen. Vulture. Yeah, I haven't used Vulture yet. Uh, RSTUVW Water Buffalo. Um, TUVWX Y. The animal begins with Y. A yellow-bellied bird of some kind. Z. Zebra. Alright. Alright, so I definitely slipped in there when I started thinking hard. So, that wasn't everything. So what if we replace animal with, let's try a type of food. So, A is gonna be, what type of food starts with A? Anpan. B is for banana. C is for cream. D is for dessert or like dog is in hot dog or d d d. I'll just go with dessert. We see the E. What is a food that begin? What is a food that begins with E? Um, elephant ears. The pastry. F. F is for food and French fries. Your F. G is for grapes. H is for hot dogs. I is for ice cream. J is for jalapenos. K is for probably something German. Um, what's a food that begins with K? Food that begins with K. Crusty. Krabby Patties. Ha! Okay. Uh, HIJKL. L food is gonna be lima beans. M is for mangoes. N is for a nibble. Na 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 na. What food begins with an N? Nice food. I feel like I picked a bad category because I'm like very bad with food. Um, N food. We'll just skip N. O is for onions. LMNOP. P is for peas or pineapple. Q. I I have no fucking clue what food starts with Q. R is for food begins with R. What the fuck is it? Rainbow cupcakes. Perfect for June. S is for salmon. T is for... Well, I guess toothpaste isn't really a food. Um... No, that's a... Tiger lilies are a flower? U is for... Upside down cake. V is for velvet cake. W is for watercress. WX. I'm gonna skip X. X, Y. Y is for yellow cake. Oh no. Z. Well, I did my best. Did I do well? No. But I do think that I slipped back into my old voice a little bit less that time, which is the entire point of it, so that's cool. Okay, so then we're gonna do Daisy Chain, and this feels somewhat like Shiritori. Choose a category, animals, types of food, cities, anything you like, and see the categories list generator in the next game if you need inspiration. Come up with any word in that category. For example, if your category is animals, the first word would be cat, and then think of another word that in that category that starts with the last letter of the previous word. For example, cat, tiger. Continue chaining words together until you run out of ideas. Alright, let's go for it. Aardvark, kangaroo, orangutan, guppy. Oh no, I hit with Y. Yellow-tailed swallow. Maybe. So then we give W. Water buffalo. Osprey. Oh no. Now we're at Y again. Yams. That would be a food. Okay. Well, I think that's enough for today. I feel like rather than struggling, although I did struggle with slipping out of my voice, but I think one of the more unfortunate things is that my brain fog is holding me back more than my slipping. But that's okay because as I practice and secretly look up animals and foods that start with weird letters, I will eventually get better at it. Another fun thing that we can try is keeping your voice say something and then change one aspect of it and say it again. So for example, hi, my name is Ain. 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 So I just tried to change the pitch there, and keep everything else the same. Let's try it again. Hi, my name is Ain. Hi, my name is Ain. Hi, my name is Ain. So the only thing, that was all the same pitch, but I changed to a more open resonance which means that I like opened my throat wider and I kept it wide, and my mouth open and the roof of my mouth flattened and all of this stuff to create a larger resonant space. Uh, let's do something a little bit different. So I'm pretty good at doing the sexy villainous femme fatale voice. So why don't we start with that? Hello, my name is Zane. And then let's go, hello, my name is Zane. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello, my name is Ain. So that's pitch, and then let's see if I can make it smaller resonance. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello. No, I changed the pitch on that one. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello, my name is Ain. Let's try shrinking it again. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello, my name is Ain. We could also do stuff that changes the vocal weight. So let's try. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello, my name is Ain. So that's increasing the vocal weight. We could also go breathier instead. Hello, my name is Ain. 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 Let's see. We could change prosody a bit. Let's try. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello, my name is Ain. Hello, my name is Ain. Let's see, what other prosodies could we... So as you can see, prosody is kind of like a mixed bag of a lot of different things, honestly. It's kind of just like an other category, if I'm being honest. Let's see, what else could I do? Volume. So, you wouldn't think that volume has all that much to do with gender, but volume mixed with prosody kind of does, because masculine voices have a tendency to create emphasis by volume change. So if they really want to emphasize a word, they make that word louder. Whereas with feminine voices, what they instead do to add emphasis is they change the pitch, right? So overall, the prosody of a feminine voice is you're going to have a lot more bounciness, a lot of diversity going from higher to low pitch. Whereas a more masculine voice, a voice gets read as more masculine typically if it's more even with a narrower range. It's not a hard and fast rule. For example, you could take like the stereotypical gay male voice. That is a masculine, it's a feminine voice that gets read as male, or it's a masculine voice that's more expressive or whatever you want to talk about it. Anyway, yeah, so what was I saying? That was volume. So like, hi, my name hi, my name is Ain. Hi, my name is Ain. Hi, my name is Ain. All right, so we have different emphasis on different words. And then if I was going to do it more bouncing, let's see. Hi, my name is Ain. Hi. No, that's changing too many other things. Hi, my name is Ain. Hi, my name is Ain. Hi, my name is Ain. The pausing between your words can also be a part of prosody. Let's see. I also find it kind of fun to try out singing like extremely gendered songs, but like in a different way. So, for example, prima donna girl, yeah. All I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. Okay, so let's do that, and then I'm gonna try to masculinize it. Prima donna girl, yeah. All I ever wanted was the world. I can't help that I need it all. Okay, so that one, I did a little bit more even, but, like less bouncy. But a big part of it was also just increasing the vocal weight and making it more percussive. Um, Another fun one that I like to do is this really old Rurouni Kenshin song is very girly pop. I rush against those freckles that I hate, so life goes on and I heave a little sigh for you. When I want to torment Korchi and give him psychic damage, then I like to sing that one in like a really twangy. I brush against those freckles that I hate, so life goes on and I heave a little sigh for you. I mean, just doing it as twangy and terrible as possible. If I was gonna do that one a little more seriously, I wonder if I could sing that as a twink. Alright, so when I brushed against those freckles that I hate, so life goes on and I heave a little sigh for you. Not as twinky as it could be. I think my throat's a little dry. Alright. I think it's time for a break. But I think I got some practice in, and that's always good.